Welcome back. I am Jenna Gullo, the Executive Director of the Missouri Slope Area-Wide United Way. Thank you for joining us again. And in studio this morning, one of our guests is doing just that. Chris Hall, who is in charge of Neighbors Network. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
So Chris, tell us what your position is and what your role is at Neighbors Network.
I'm the program supervisor for Neighbors Network.
And that's housed out of Bismarck Public Schools.
Correct, yes.
And so how long has Neighbors Network been going?
We've been going for over 30 years, and a lot of people don't know about us, which we're kind of the best kept secret.
No kidding. I agree with that. And so when you say Neighbors Network, how did it start and what do you do?
It was a program that actually one of our previous board members had a family member that worked doing a similar program in Wisconsin, and she was a teacher at Wachter Middle School, and she just thought, boy, I really need to help the kids that I work with, and boy, that sounds like a great idea. So she brought the concept to Bismarck and had the idea and got it going.
And so what does a neighbor from Neighbors Network, what services do you provide?
After referral is made from a teacher or a school staff member, we assign a neighbor to work with the family just to assess, kind of what is the barrier that's getting in the way of that child being successful in school.
And so what's the child who is in your program? Describe what that child might be going through right now.
Many children that we're working with right now are in very unstable homes, so housing is almost always an issue, as well as unstableness in employment for the parents. And so that kind of has a trickle-down effect because there's usually a reason why the parent is struggling. That oftentimes is addiction or a mental health issue.
And at United Way, we're focusing on measuring our outcomes, on reporting back our results, and targeting evidence-based practices to target those solutions. So talk about how you became a part of this education initiative where United Way this year really started to encourage agencies to apply together so that we're trying to break away from working in our individual silos.
Our goal is to always make families work independently and not need the supports of a Neighbors Network worker. And how we do that is we actually hook them up with what's already available in the community. And there are many partner agencies that we're working with that will help us achieve that goal. Because when we start working with the family, we look at all areas of their family so that we can figure out what is the root cause of why they're not functioning well.
And, what are the current trends that you're seeing? I know in Bismarck Public Schools last year we had over 460 families or children, that were homeless.
Yes, and that's probably an underreporting. We have many families that are doubled up with family members or friends that aren't being calculated in those statistics, but those are the kids that are living in hotels or living in campgrounds, living in their cars. Those are the ones that tend to get counted.
Well, and tell us that story about the family that was living, was it down in Sibley Park?
Yeah, we had a family at the school that I work at that the kids were coming to school very dirty and cold every day. And when we finally got to the root of the problem, evidently they had moved from out of state in hopes to getting employment and had not had very much success with that. So they were living in their car and in a camper south of town in a campground. And the kids were just very cold and not wanting to take showers in the campground because this was the end of October. So
can you imagine having
cold.
A shower? If anyone's seen those showers outside, there's no roofs over those showers.
Right.
And I know last year we were calling Shields, begging for tents because families were living out in the campgrounds. And this year it's different. They wouldn't be able to survive out in the campgrounds.
Absolutely not.
But where are they going? Because the families are not utilizing our local family shelter like one would imagine they would.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure why that is, but a lot of families are doubling up with either someone that they met through their work or people that they might have known in the community previously. And so lots of doubled up families. We had some folks that were living in a 2-bedroom trailer house, and there was 11 people staying there. And so just very crowded conditions.
And ones that are not conducive to a child being able to go to school with well rested, with their health needs attended to, with proper nutrition at home so that they can concentrate once they're at school.
Absolutely. We had kids that were sleeping in the outside shed part of a trailer home because there just was no room in the regular trailer. So,
Wow.
very cold.
Well, and a lot of what you do is trying to prevent families from becoming homeless again. Walk us through how you navigate a family to be able to better access the services and resources that are available in Bismarck-Mandan.
What's unique about our program is that it's all based on relationship with the family and with the parents. And so we go into the homes, unlike many other agencies. So we kind of see what the real deal is. And if their home is their car, that's where we go. And so we're able to kind of see what really is going on and to get, the parent to really have that relationship to be able to tell us, I really am struggling in this area and this is what I really need help with. And I've never told anybody that before, but you're the one that I feel comfortable with doing that.
It's nice because it's not CPS, it's not Child Protective Services coming in with that
Right.
fear of being able to open up to that caseworker and be able to get the support that you need to really get at these root causes.
Yeah, our program is totally voluntary. And what's unique also is that we always start where the family feels they need to start. That may not be what we think needs to be done first, but we always want them to feel like we're here for what you want us to help you with. And so that's a way of kind of making them feel more comfortable and accepting of our service.
Chris, talk to us a little bit about what other services you're pulling in to what you currently do at Neighbors Network and how you're going to measure your results.
The initiative that we're really trying to work on is getting us to work smarter instead of harder. And so what we're doing is we're partnering with transportation services, which is always a concern. Either they don't have reliable transportation or they have no transportation. We're also working with the Big Brother, Big Sister program to get positive adult mentors working with families so that they're able to have that connection. Because kids that have a positive adult in their life lots of research shows that they're more likely to succeed.
Absolutely. And our needs assessment shows that only 29% of youth in Bismarck-Mandan have a positive adult role model. 29%. And we're all here. We all, are able to give that half hour, find that half an hour to help a child who's in need, to provide that support. Are we talking about, when you're talking about these 462 homeless children, do you think that they're out-of-staters that are coming in? I mean, because that's a local perception.
Many of them are, but not all. A lot of families, might run into issues because maybe they're in a domestic violence situation and the parent decides they need to leave that. And so suddenly they find themselves homeless with their children because they wanted to leave a domestic violence situation. So we find that a lot. Or maybe they were living with another family member and for whatever reason that just didn't work out or wasn't a healthy environment. So they need to leave that as well.
Mm-hmm. And what we're finding too is that 45% of those individuals who are homeless in North Dakota are actually employed. And many people don't realize that that's the situation right here. And it is true in the Bismarck-Mandan community. We are talking about United Way's education initiative, and we need your help. Please give today. If you want to target solutions, look at results with your dollars and know that your dollars are going to directly impact the lives of individuals in the Bismarck-Mandan area and to change their path, their course, to create opportunities. Give to United Way at msaunitedway.org. We'll be coming back in just a few minutes to talk more about partners working in our education initiative, and we'll be talking with Big Brothers Big Sisters.